Hey there, how's it going today? I hope you're feeling good, I really do. You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about something that's been coming up in conversations with friends, family, and even folks I meet at the grocery store. It's this. Do you ever feel like the world is moving faster than ever and technology is leaving you in the dust? Maybe you've had that moment when your grandkid sends you a meme through an app you've never heard of, or you're standing in line at the pharmacy trying to use a self-checkout machine, and suddenly you wish you'd stayed home. You're not alone. I used to feel that way too. But here's the good news. It's never too late to learn. And not only that, getting comfortable with technology after 70 might just be one of the most rewarding things you do. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, my neighbor Martha, she's 74, told me she felt like she was missing out on life. Her kids and grandkids were always chatting about this cool thing on TikTok or sending photos through WhatsApp, and she didn't even know how to turn on her tablet. She was frustrated, sure, but she was also determined. Within 6 months, Martha was not only video calling her granddaughters every Sunday, but she'd started her own blog about gardening. Now, she's the one teaching me how to use new apps, and if Martha can do it, so can you. Why tech matters after 70. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a tech wizard overnight, but here's the deal. Technology isn't just about gadgets and screens. It's about staying connected to the people you love, managing your health, and even keeping your brain sharp. Imagine being able to schedule your next doctor's appointment online instead of waiting on hold for an hour, or joining a virtual book club with friends from across the country, or even just sending a photo of your latest recipe creation to your daughter with a few quick taps. These aren't just conveniences. They're ways to live your life more fully. And guess what? Learning doesn't have to be overwhelming. In fact, I've broken it down into 4 simple steps that anyone can follow. We'll start with the first 2 today, and I promise, by the end of this, you'll feel a whole lot more confident. Step 1. Start with the right mindset. All right, let's get one thing straight. The biggest hurdle to learning something new isn't your age, it's the belief that you can't do it. I've heard it all. I'm too old for this. My brain doesn't work like it used to. Or, what if I mess up? But here's the truth, your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And learning technology is no different than picking up a new hobby or learning to cook a complicated recipe. It takes time, patience, and yes, a few mistakes along the way. But every time you try something new, you're building new connections in your brain. That's called neuroplasticity, by the way. A fancy word that basically means you're capable of growth at any age. Let me share another example. My Uncle Joe swore he'd never touch a smartphone. He loved his old flip phone. Then his granddaughter was born, and suddenly he wanted to see her first steps in a video call. At first, he fumbled with Wi-Fi passwords and accidentally turned off his microphone a dozen times. But he didn't give up. He wrote down the steps in a little notebook, asked his granddaughter to walk him through things slowly, and now, he's the one sending her funny animal videos every morning. The point is, curiosity is your superpower. When you approach tech with a sense of adventure, instead of fear, it becomes fun. So here's your first assignment. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. Nobody expects you to master an iPad overnight. Start small. Celebrate the wins, whether it's sending your first text or finding a recipe video on YouTube. And if you make a mistake, laugh about it. Trust me, even tech experts hit the wrong button sometimes. Step 2. Get comfortable with your device. All right, let's talk gadgets. If you're just starting out, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of devices out there. Phones, tablets, laptops, smart speakers. Where do you begin? Well, here's my advice. Pick one tool that serves your needs, and stick with it for now. For most people, a tablet like an iPad or a basic smartphone is a great starting point. Why? Because they're user-friendly, portable, and perfect for things like video calls, browsing the web, or reading emails. If you're someone who loves to travel or take photos, maybe a smartphone makes the most sense. If you prefer a bigger screen for reading news or watching videos, go for a tablet. And if you're already using a device but feel lost, that's okay too. This step is about getting comfortable, not rushing to the next upgrade. Now here's a tip that changed the game for me. Learn the basics before diving into apps. Think of it like learning to drive a car before hitting the highway. Start with the home screen. What do those little icons mean? Swipe left, swipe right. What happens? How do you adjust the volume or brightness? What about connecting to Wi-Fi? These might seem simple, but getting familiar with these gestures and settings will build your confidence. And don't worry, most devices have a help feature. On an iPhone or iPad, for example, you can ask Siri questions like, "How do I take a screenshot?" or "How do I change my password?" It's like having a teacher in your pocket. If all of this still feels intimidating, here's what I recommend. Ask someone you trust to sit down with you for 15 minutes. It could be a grandkid, a neighbor, or even a librarian. Most people are happy to help, and they'll probably appreciate your interest in learning. And if you'd rather go at your own pace, don't worry. There are tons of free resources out there, which we'll talk about in the next part. But for now, focus on making friends with your device. Charge it, hold it, tap around. Think of it as getting to know a new companion. Alright, so far we've covered the importance of mindset and getting comfortable with your device. These two steps are like laying the foundation for a house. Once you've got that down, everything else gets easier. In the next part, we'll dive into how to use apps that make life simpler, from video calls to managing your health. But for now, I want you to take a deep breath and remember, you're not alone in this. Every expert was once a beginner. And if Martha can go from confused to blogging in 6 months, you can absolutely take these first 2 steps. Ready to keep going? I hope you're feeling a little more confident already. In the last part, we talked about how mindset and getting comfortable with your device are the first steps to embracing technology after 70. Now let's build on that foundation with 2 more steps that'll make your daily life easier, and maybe even more fun. Step 3. Master the apps that simplify life. Let's get real for a second. Technology isn't just about gadgets. It's about the tools those gadgets give you to stay connected, organized, and independent. And the heart of those tools? Apps. Now I know that word might sound intimidating, like a foreign language at first, but stick with me. Most apps are designed to do one simple thing well, and once you get the hang of them, they'll feel like old friends. Let's start with the one everyone's using these days, video calling. Whether it's FaceTime, Zoom, or WhatsApp, video calls let you see the faces of people you love, no matter where they are. Think about it. You could be sitting in your living room, sipping tea, and suddenly you're visiting your granddaughter in another state. No plane tickets, no long drives, just smiles and laughter in real time. So how do you get started? Let's walk through it together. First, open the app. If you're on an iPhone, FaceTime is already there. Tap the green app that looks like a green phone, and then tap the plus sign to add a contact. Type in their name or number and hit video call. That's it. If you're using Zoom, download the app from the App Store, create a free account, and ask the person you're calling to send you a meeting link. Tap the link, and boom, you're in. It might feel awkward the first few times, but I promise it gets easier. And here's a tip. If you're nervous about messing up, write down the steps, just like Martha did. Create a little cheat sheet with screenshots or notes like, tap this icon, then press join. You can even ask someone to record a short video of themselves using the app so you can watch it over and over until you're ready to try it yourself. Now let's talk about another game changer, health and wellness apps. Managing medications, tracking appointments, or even staying active can feel overwhelming, especially if you're used to doing everything on paper. But apps like MediSafe for medication reminders or MyFitnessPal for tracking meals and exercise can take the guesswork out of daily routines. Take my friend Ruth, who's 78. She used to forget her blood pressure meds half the time until she downloaded MediSafe. Now, her phone pings her at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., reminding her to take her pills. It even tracks how many she's taken and sends a report to her daughter. Ruth says it's like having a nurse in my pocket. And if you're worried about privacy, most apps let you control what data is shared and with whom. Just look for settings like permissions or privacy in the app menu to customize what you're comfortable with. Step 4. Learn the resources that make tech easy. Okay, so you've got a device, you've mastered a few apps, and you're feeling good. But here's the thing, technology changes fast. New features pop up, apps update, and sometimes it feels like you're playing catch-up. That's totally normal. Even tech experts have to look things up sometimes. The key is knowing where to turn when you're stuck. First up, YouTube. Yes, the same platform where you watch cat videos or cooking tutorials is also a goldmine for learning tech. Search for something like how to use Zoom for beginners or how to delete emails on an iPhone, and you'll find thousands of step-by-step videos. The best part? Most of them are free. Look for channels with clear, patient instructors, people who explain things slowly and show the screen as they go. A few of my favorites are Tech Tips for Seniors and Senior Safe Media, but feel free to explore until you find a voice that clicks with you. Another underused resource? Your local library or community center. Many offer free tech classes for seniors, small groups, hands-on help, and instructors who specialize in teaching older adults. I'll never forget the time my friend Harold showed up to a library class thinking he'd never figure out his tablet. By the end of the hour, he was proudly showing off how to use Google Maps to plan his next trip. And if in-person classes aren't your thing, some libraries offer virtual sessions too. Just call or check their website for details. And here's a secret. Most big tech companies have support teams that specialize in helping older users. Apple, Google, and Amazon all offer free tutorials, phone support, or even in-store workshops. For example, if you own an iPad, Apple's Today at Apple program has free sessions on everything from photo editing to cybersecurity. Just visit their website or stop by a store near you to sign up. Now let's talk about the most important resource of all, your network. Don't be shy, ask for help. Whether it's a grandkid, a neighbor, or a friend, most people are thrilled to share their knowledge. And if you're not sure how to phrase the question, try this. Can you show me how to insert task here? For example, can you show me how to forward an email? Or, can you walk me through setting up my Wi-Fi? Be specific and ask them to go slowly. You might even say, could you write down the steps for me afterward? That way, you'll have a reference for next time. All right, we've covered a lot so far. Video calls, health apps, and the resources that make learning tech feel less lonely. These tools aren't just about keeping up. They're about expanding your world. Imagine being able to video call your grandkids whenever you want, track your health without flipping through a paper log, or even learn a new skill just by watching a video. This is your life, and technology is here to help you live it fully. I want you to remember this. You're capable of more than you realize. Every time you open that app, swipe through your photos, or send a message, you're proving that age is just a number. So keep going. You're doing great. By now, you've got a solid foundation. Your mindset is ready, your device feels like a trusted companion, and you've mastered a few apps that make life easier. But here's the thing. Technology isn't just about learning how to use tools. It's also about using them safely and celebrating the progress you're making. So let's dive into the final two pieces of the puzzle that'll help you stay sharp, connected, and confident for years to come. Step 5. Stay safe online, without losing your peace of mind. Let's get real for a second. The internet is full of amazing things, recipes, family photos, medical advice, even virtual museum tours. But it's also home to scams, fake news, and people who want to take advantage of others. I know this can feel scary, especially if you're new to the digital world. But here's the good news. Staying safe online doesn't require a degree in computer science. It just takes a few simple habits and a healthy dose of common sense. First up, protect your passwords. Think of your passwords like the keys to your home. You wouldn't leave them lying around for strangers to find, right? The same goes for your digital accounts. Here's a tip. Use a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols, and avoid obvious choices like 1234 or password. If you're worried about forgetting them, write them down in a notebook you keep in a safe place, not on your screen or in an unsecured app. Better yet, use a password manager like LastPass or 1Password, which securely stores all your passwords behind one master key. Next, watch out for phishing scams. These are sneaky messages that pretend to be from banks, tech companies, or even friends in need. They'll say things like, "Your account is locked. Click here to fix it." Or, "I'm stuck overseas and need money fast." The rule of thumb: if it feels urgent or too good to be true, it probably is. Don't click links or share personal info unless you're 100% sure who's on the other end. When in doubt, pick up the phone and call the company directly using the number on their official website. And here's something most people don't talk about. Set up two-factor authentication. This is like adding a deadbolt to your digital door. With 2FA, even if someone guesses your password, they can't access your account without a second verification step, like a code sent to your phone. Most email services, Gmail, Yahoo, banks, and social media platforms offer this feature in their settings. It only takes a few minutes to set up, and it's one of the easiest ways to keep your account secure. Now, I know this might sound overwhelming, but here's the secret. You don't have to memorize every rule. Just take it one step at a time. Start with your most important accounts, like email and banking, and enable 2FA. Then, slowly build your habits. And if you ever feel unsure, lean on the people you trust. Ask a grandkid, a friend, or a librarian to sit down and walk you through it. You'll be surprised how willing people are to help when they know you're trying. Step 6. Celebrate small wins, because every step counts. All right, let's shift gears to something just as important as security. Celebrate your progress. Learning tech after 70 isn't a race, it's a journey. And every time you send your first email, join a Zoom call, or even just figure out how to adjust your screen brightness, you're proving that you're capable of growth. Those moments might seem small, but they're huge victories. Let me tell you about my friend Lucy. She's 76, and when she first got her tablet, she was convinced she'd never learn. But she started with tiny steps. First, she learned how to turn it on. Then, she figured out how to read the news. By week 3, she was sending photos to her sister. One day, she called me and said, "You know what? I'm proud of myself." That's the kind of mindset that changes lives. So here's my challenge to you. Keep a tech wins journal. It can be a simple notebook or a note on your phone. Every time you accomplish something, whether it's setting up a password, joining a video call, or even just asking for help, write it down. Not only will this remind you how far you've come, but it'll also give you a boost on days when things feel frustrating. And don't forget to share your wins with others. Post in the comments below this video, tell a friend, or even send me an email if you're feeling proud. I love hearing from folks like you, and your story might just inspire someone else to take their first step. All right, let's take a moment to recap everything we've covered together. We started by talking about the importance of mindset, how your brain is like a muscle that grows stronger with practice. Then, we walked through getting comfortable with your device, mastering apps that simplify life, tapping into free resources, staying safe online, and celebrating small wins. These steps aren't just about learning technology, they're about expanding your world and staying connected to the people and activities you love. Now here's the truth. You don't have to become a tech expert overnight. In fact, you don't have to become one at all. What matters is that you're trying, that you're curious, that you're proving to yourself that age is just a number. And trust me, every time you open that app, tap that screen, or ask that question, you're building a future where you're not just keeping up, you're thriving. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll be the first to know when I post more tips on living your best life at any age. And if you're feeling inspired, drop a comment below and tell me, what's one tech skill you've learned recently, or one you're excited to try? I can't wait to hear your stories. Here's to living fully, staying sharp, and embracing the joy of learning, no matter your age. You've got this.